Ladies and gentlemen, let us journey into the depths of consciousness, the only reality that truly exists. Understand that everything you see, touch, and experience is but an expression, an outpicturing of your inner world. This physical realm, with all its seeming solidity and form, is not separate from you. It is not something outside of you. It is a reflection of the most intimate, invisible parts of your consciousness. We each hold an immense, creative power, the power to shape and transform reality itself. And this power lies in our imagination. When you imagine something with conviction, feel it deeply as if it were already here. You are breathing life into it. Through imagination, you shape your world. Remember, imagination is not a trivial daydream. It is the architect of reality. What you dare to assume, what you genuinely believe, has the potential to manifest in your life. Your assumptions are the foundation of your world. When you change your assumptions, you change the world around you. By assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, by believing that what you desire is already yours, you open the doors to a reality where that wish can manifest. Live as though your wish is fulfilled, and let every thought, every feeling, every action resonate with this inner conviction. This is living in the end, embodying the very state you desire to experience, and aligning with the consciousness of your chosen reality. You may not see immediate evidence, but trust in the unseen. The world may call this imagination, but we know it as truth. For what is real cannot always be seen. The seed is sown in consciousness, and it takes root long before it sprouts into form. So hold fast to your beliefs and your vision, for they are the foundations of the life you live. Do not look to the world to define you. Instead, shape the world through your consciousness. When you awaken to this truth, you realize the limitless potential within. Consciousness is not merely one element among others in our lives. It is the foundational reality. Our very awareness, our capacity to perceive, think, feel, and imagine, is the source from which all of life emerges. Every experience we have, every interaction, every relationship, and every event is filtered through and created by this vast landscape of consciousness. Rather than something separate, it is the very substance of our reality. Consciousness is the silent creator behind the scenes, continuously shaping, molding, and giving life to the world we inhabit. The things we consider to be external or real are, in truth, simply reflections of our own conscious state. Think of consciousness as a projector and reality as a screen. What we perceive is only an expression of what we believe, feel, and assume to be true within ourselves. We are not passive observers in life, waiting for things to happen. Rather, we are active creators, continually giving life to the world through our consciousness. When you understand this, you see that reality is not something out there. It's an experience that begins within, a reflection of our awareness projected outwardly. Each belief, thought, and assumption we hold acts like a seed in the soil of consciousness. And just as a gardener plants seeds with the expectation of a future harvest, the thoughts and beliefs we plant in consciousness will inevitably blossom into experiences. If you carry beliefs of abundance, peace, and joy, these will grow into experiences that reflect those states. On the other hand, beliefs rooted in limitation, fear, doubt will also find ways to appear in your life as reality takes on the shape of the consciousness that holds it. This is why it's so essential to become aware of what we nurture in consciousness, as these seeds shape the landscape of our lives. Understanding the primacy of consciousness also unveils the illusion of chance or fate. Often people feel that events in life occur randomly, that we are subject to forces outside ourselves. However, when we recognize that consciousness is the source, we begin to see that life is far from random. Every moment, every experience, and every outcome can be traced back to a state of consciousness. Reality conforms to the nature of consciousness, much like clay in the hands of a sculptor. This realization is both empowering and humbling. It reveals that we are responsible for our lives, for the states we cultivate, but then ultimately create the world around us. The path to a transformed reality begins with awareness. When we become conscious of consciousness itself, we gain access to the profound ability to reshape our experience. Rather than trying to manipulate the circumstances or the people around us, we only need to look inward to the creative power that consciousness possesses. By choosing to dwell in states of love, joy, or abundance, by entertaining thoughts that elevate and expand us, we find that the world must respond, as it always has, to the consciousness from which it springs. At the heart of creation lies the incredible power of assumption, the ability to take on an inner belief or conviction as if it were already true. Assumptions are not idle thoughts, they are potent seeds that influence the experiences that unfold in our lives. Everything that we assume, whether consciously or unconsciously, has a creative impact on our reality. Assumptions act as the lens through which we view the world, defining not only our perceptions but also the types of experiences we attract. When we assume something with unwavering belief, we set in motion a chain of events that will, in time, bring forth the object of our assumption into physical reality. The concept of assumption is simple but profound. By choosing to assume the reality of our desires before they have physically manifested, we bridge the gap between imagination and reality. If, for instance, you desire financial abundance but continue to believe in scarcity, your experiences will reflect that belief in lack. However, if you begin to assume abundance as your truth, despite present circumstances, your world will ultimately reorganize to match that state. Assumption aligns our inner world with the outcome we seek, creating a magnetic force that draws the necessary elements of that reality toward us. Doubt is like a weed in the garden of the mind, obstructing the growth of our desired states. When we doubt, we plant seeds of uncertainty that often contradict our intentions. To fully harness the power of assumption, we must cultivate a mental discipline that maintains the feeling of the desired state, regardless of appearances. This is not wishful thinking or self-perception, rather. It is the process of consciously selecting the beliefs we wish to see reflected in our lives. Once we commit to an assumption wholeheartedly, the mind aligns with this new belief and begins to filter reality in ways that support it. Assumptions also have a unique capacity to alter our behavior and actions in ways that make our goals more achievable. For instance, if you assume the role of a confident, successful person, your actions and decisions will naturally reflect this belief. Your body language, tone, and choices will all align with this assumption, making it easier to attract circumstances and opportunities that correspond to your new self-concept. In this way, assumption doesn't only change the way we perceive the world, but also the way the world perceives and responds to us. The world becomes a mirror of the assumptions we hold. Understanding the power of assumption transforms how we approach life's challenges. Instead of reacting to circumstances as they appear, we realize that by changing our assumptions, we can alter the conditions themselves. Challenges then become opportunities to reinforce our chosen beliefs and assumptions, training us to embody the reality we wish to experience fully. Through conscious assumption, we become the architects of our reality, empowered to shape our lives according to our deepest desires and highest visions. Every assumed belief, when held firmly and without wavering, has the potential to reshape the world around us and create a light that aligns with our greatest aspirations. Imagination is not merely a tool for daydreams or idle fantasies. It is the very substance of creation itself. It is through imagination that we have the power to shape and define the experiences of our lives. In its truest form, imagination is not limited by the constraints of our current circumstances or the so-called limitations of physical reality. Instead, it operates on a higher plane, one where all possibilities exist, waiting to be called forth into existence. Imagination is the canvas upon which we can paint the life we desire, the mental realm where all things are possible, and every desire has the potential to manifest. When we imagine something vividly and consistently, we are, in essence, giving it life. Imagination is not passive, it is an active, creative force that molds our experiences according to the images we hold in mind. By imagining an ideal reality, we provide the blueprint that reality then follows. Every moment spent visualizing, dreaming, or even casually imagining a future experience plants a seed in consciousness. The more energy and belief we invest in this seed, the stronger its potential to manifest. In this way, imagination functions as a bridge between the unseen realm of thought and the visible realm of form, transforming what once was merely a mental image into a reality. Imagination also acts as a rehearsal for the life we wish to lead. Through imagination, we can explore, practice, and refine our desires before they take physical shape. Consider how athletes use visualization techniques to prepare for competitions, mentally rehearsing their moves and perfecting their performance. This mental preparation is more than just a visualization technique. It is an act of creation that sets the mind, and ultimately the body, in alignment with the desired outcome. Similarly, by imagining ourselves in the role of our dreams, whether that be in love, career, or any other area, we are aligning with the state we wish to embody, allowing us to draw it closer. One of the most transformative aspects of imagination is its ability to bypass the limitations imposed by current reality. When we focus solely on what is before us, we are often limited by present conditions, seeing only what has been rather than what can be. Imagination frees us from this cycle by allowing us to conceive of a reality beyond present circumstances. When we engage our imagination, we transcend the limitations of time, space, and circumstance, opening the door to new possibilities that might otherwise seem out of reach. It invites us to live in a state of potential rather than in the confines of what we perceive as actual. Imagination allows us to experience the feelings and emotions associated with our desires as though they were already fulfilled. When we feel these emotions deeply and vividly, we are, in a sense, living in the reality of our desires before they physically manifest. This emotional alignment is a powerful attractor, drawing into our lives circumstances that mirror the imagined experience. It is as though life responds to the feelings we project, reordering itself to match the frequency of our imagination. By holding on to the vision of our desired reality and feeling it as though it were already present, we set in motion a powerful creative force that brings our vision into being. Imagination, therefore, is the precursor to all creation, the invisible architect that shapes our world. It invites us to see ourselves not merely as passive observers of life, but as active participants in the creation of our reality. Through the power of imagination, we have the freedom to design our lives according to our highest aspirations and deepest desires. Imagination is the essence of creation, offering us the keys to a world of infinite possibilities and guiding us towards the realization of our dreams. Living in the end is a transformative fifth principle that calls us to adopt the mindset, emotions, and actions of a person whose desires have already been fulfilled. This practice is powerful because it speaks to the creative power of the subconscious mind. Our subconscious is profoundly influenced by the thoughts and feelings we experience repeatedly, whether they're real or imagined. By consistently placing ourselves in the state of our fulfilled desire, we condition our subconscious mind to accept this new reality as true. The subconscious mind does not differentiate between actual experiences and vividly imagined ones. It acts upon whatever we impress upon it with conviction and feeling. When we live in the end, our subconscious begins to work on our behalf, orchestrating events, guiding our decisions, and attracting circumstances that bring our desire into our physical reality. Living in the end also transforms our behavior, helping us naturally adopt the habits and actions that align with our desired state. For example, if you wish to achieve a goal of improved health, living in the end would involve embracing the habits of a healthy person now. This may mean adopting a healthy diet, exercising regularly, and prioritizing self-care as a natural part of your life. These actions are not forced or superficial. Instead, they arise organically through the consciousness of someone who is already healthy and fulfilled. By embodying these behaviors, you align your actions with your inner state, strengthening the belief that your desired outcome is indeed your reality. This principle also helps us move away from a mindset of lack or waiting, which can be major obstacles in manifesting our desires. When we desire something intensely but feel that it's separate or far from us, we create a gap between ourselves and the object of our desire. Living in the end eliminates this gap by fostering the feeling that the desired state is already ours. This shift in perspective is crucial, as it removes any sense of longing or lack and replaces it with a feeling of possession and gratitude. Living in the end enables us to act and feel to a place of fullness rather than deficiency, which ultimately brings us into greater alignment with our desired state. When we live in the end, we invite a sense of calm and assurance into our lives. By assuming that our desires are already fulfilled, we free ourselves from the worry, doubt, and impatience that can often accompany our pursuits. Instead of questioning when or how our desires will manifest, we trust in the natural flow of life, confident that our reality is unfolding in perfect timing. This calm assurance not only reinforces our belief in the certainty of our goal, but also allows us to remain open to the creative ways in which our desires may manifest. This sense of trust and certainty has a magnetic quality, drawing into our lives the conditions and people that align with our vision. Living in the end allows us to take ownership of our lives by becoming the conscious authors of our experience. It's a mindset that goes beyond mere positive thinking or visualization. It is a deep inner conviction that shifts our entire being into alignment with the reality we wish to live. By adopting the consciousness of our desired state, we activate a powerful creative force within ourselves, making the fulfillment of our desires not only possible but inevitable. Faith in the invisible is a guiding principle that invites us to trust in the unseen forces of consciousness, knowing that what we desire already exists in a non-physical form. This kind of faith goes beyond mere optimism or positive thinking. It is a profound inner conviction that our inner reality will eventually manifest as our outer experience. This belief in the unseen is essential for navigating life with a sense of purpose and creativity. When we cultivate faith in the invisible, we begin to view life not through the narrow lens of immediate physical evidence, but through the expansive view of possibility and potential. We understand that the seeds of our desires have already been planted in the unseen, and that they are now growing and moving toward expression. This faith is based on the understanding that reality extends beyond the limitations of our five senses. Our physical senses are limited in scope, capable only of perceiving what has already taken shape in the material world. However, just because something is not yet visible or tangible does not mean it lacks existence or value. Imagine a tree seed planted in the soil. Although it is invisible beneath the ground, it is actively growing, developing, and gathering the resources it needs to emerge. Faith in the invisible operates similarly. We trust that the roots of our desires are spreading, growing, and preparing to become visible, even if we yet see them with our physical eyes. Cultivating faith in the invisible also requires a sense of surrender, a willingness to trust the process of creation without micromanaging every detail. Many of us feel compelled to control every step of our goals, but this can lead to frustration when outcomes do not appear exactly as we planned or hoped. By letting go of the need for immediate evidence, we allow ourselves to be open to new possibilities and unexpected outcomes. This surrender is not about giving up, rather, it is about allowing ourselves to believe that the universe or the subconscious mind knows the best route to bring our desires to fruition. When we have faith in the invisible, we open ourselves to creative solutions and pathways that may not be apparent at first glance. Faith in the invisible brings a sense of peace and patience to our journey. By trusting that our desires are on their way, we avoid the anxiety and doubt that often come from constantly checking for results. This type of faith provides a solid foundation of confidence, allowing us to maintain a positive state of mind even when external circumstances seem unchanged. We understand that physical manifestation is often the last step in the creative process. Everything begins as an idea, a belief, or an inner state before it becomes tangible. Knowing this, we can rest assured that our work is already underway, giving us the peace to carry on without worry or haste. When we practice faith in the invisible, we also develop resilience against setbacks or delays. There will inevitably be moments when we question our path or feel discouraged by lack of progress. Yet with faith, we recognize that such challenges are temporary and often part of a larger unfolding. Faith in the invisible reminds us that what we see as setbacks may be stepping stones, guiding us toward an outcome that surpasses our original vision. It strengthens our commitment to our desires, helping us hold on to our goals, even when they seem far away. This resilience, fueled by trust in the unseen, empowers us to keep moving forward regardless of immediate evidence. Faith in the invisible is an empowering state of consciousness that allows us to move through life with trust, ease, and a profound sense of connection to something greater than ourselves. It gives us permission to act as though our desires are already realized, aligning our actions and thoughts with our highest vision. This faith, anchored in the unseen, becomes the bridge between the world of thought and the world of form, allowing us to bring our inner visions into physical reality in ways that are often beyond our comprehension. Self-identity is the cornerstone of every experience we have, the foundation upon which all thoughts, beliefs, and actions are built. The way we see ourselves shapes the possibilities we believe are available to us and ultimately defines the scope of our reality. To recognize our self-identity as fluid, flexible, and infinitely expansive is to understand that our potential is truly limitless. We are not bound by past experiences, external labels, or current circumstances. Instead, our self-identity can evolve and grow as we consciously redefine it. When we see ourselves as beings with infinite potential, we open ourselves up to new opportunities and outcomes that align with our highest aspirations. Our self-concept dictates not only what we pursue, but also what we feel capable of achieving. Many people limit themselves by identifying with their past struggles, failures, or even temporary circumstances. However, when we align our self-identity with a higher vision, we transcend these limiting beliefs and move into a state where anything becomes possible. By viewing ourselves as expansive beings capable of growth, change, and transformation, we no longer feel confined by past definitions. This new self-concept empowers us to act from a place of possibility rather than restriction, embracing the notion that our true nature is boundless and capable of achieving extraordinary things. Our self-identity serves as a magnet, drawing experiences that reflect our inner beliefs about who we are. If we see ourselves as limited or lacking, we will unconsciously seek out and attract situations that confirm this belief. Conversely, when we see ourselves as capable, resourceful, and deserving, we invite experiences that resonate with this empowered state. This shift in self-identity not only transforms our inner world, but also reshapes the world around us. Relationships, opportunities, and environments begin to mirror our self-concept, reinforcing the new identity we hold. As we embody the identity of a person with infinite potential, our reality evolves to reflect that truth. Understanding our identity as infinitely adaptable also grants us freedom from external validation. When we base our self-worth solely on external opinions, achievements, or status, we place our identity in the hands of others. This creates a fragile self-image susceptible to the fluctuations of circumstances and the judgments of others. However, when we recognize that our identity is an expression of consciousness rather than something tied to external validation, we reclaim our power. We no longer need to seek approval or validation to feel worthy. Instead, we derive our sense of self from our own inner conviction. This inner stability allows us to act authentically, to pursue our true desires, and remain resilient in the face of challenges. The concept of infinite potential also expands our understanding of creativity and self-expression. We realize that our ideas, dreams, and desires are not random, They are expressions of our unique self-identity yearning to be realized. By embracing this sense of limitless potential, we become more open to exploring new interests, taking risks, and pushing the boundaries of what we thought possible. Each creative pursuit becomes an expression of the boundless possibilities within us. Our dreams are no longer seen as distant or unreachable, but as invitations to explore new facets of our potential. This exploration deepens our understanding of who we are and further expands the horizon of our self-identity. Adopting an identity rooted in infinite potential is a profound act of self-empowerment. It allows us to redefine our relationship with fear and failure, seeing them not as barriers, but as stepping stones in the process of self-discovery and growth. When we understand ourselves as limitless beings, failure becomes merely an experience, a temporary condition on the path to growth. We are no longer intimidated by challenges, as we recognize our ability to learn, adapt, and emerge stronger. This perspective fosters resilience, courage, and a sense of freedom that encourages us to take on new endeavors, knowing that our self-worth is not defined by success or failure. Seeing ourselves as beings of infinite potential transforms how we engage with life. We become active participants in the creative process, no longer limited by outdated beliefs or narrow definitions. We are free to dream bigger, act boldly, and approach life with a spirit of curiosity and adventure. This mindset grants us the power to shape our lives in ways that reflect our highest vision, turn every challenge into an opportunity, and every desire into a path toward greater self-awareness. By embracing our infinite potential, we step into our true identity as creators of our own experience, empowered to live a life that fully reflects the boundless possibilities within us.